Hello there everybody, this is Kristen. Welcome back to the Krista Chronicles. Today we are here with the September new deck digest. So these are all the decks that came into my collection some way, somehow, in the month of September. So I've got these broken up as usual into 3 different categories. We're going to start with decks I was sent for review. Then we've got some Kickstarters / pre-orders I got in, and then just plain old purchases. So let's get right into it. So for review, we're just looking at one today because I got in a box from Llewellyn truly like the last day of September, and I've only really gotten into, or maybe, September 29th. So then the last day of September, I kind of was able to get into one of them, but there are 2 more, but I haven't opened them at all, gotten into them, so while usually I would still count that, since it was so close to the end of the month, and I didn't want to rush myself, you know, to like do an unboxing, really look at them. Since I usually do those as their own videos, those will be next month. So we're just gonna look at the one, and that is the Green Codex Tarot. I just put up a video of this one sometime last week, and I love it. These are the backs. It is a really, really awesome, like earthy, I want to say colorway, but like there's a different word I'm looking for. Color scheme that I really, really like. Something about the grays and the warm browns together is definitely making me think of November. So this is absolutely going to be one that I put into my November rotation. But it is a really cool meeting of nature and esoteric messaging. I'm really enjoying the guidebook so far. I think it does a good job of really explaining the idea behind the card and where the creator kind of sees those 2 things meeting as it's portrayed in the imagery. So yes, that's the concept of the deck, and I think it absolutely delivers on it. And I just love it. I love this art style. It's very folk art feeling, which I'm a huge fan of. Yeah, I'm really liking this so far. I think it's cool. Very excited to have this out in November. I think this is going to be a really, really interesting one. So that is the Green Codex Tarot, which is the one for review in September. So moving right along to the Kickstarters and pre-orders I got in. Starting off strong with the Autumn Season Tarot. This is another one that I have a video up for, and this one even made it into my September favorites, even though it kind of just squeezed in that last like week and a half of September. I loved it so much. These are the backs. It's like a red orange, so pretty. And I'm a big fan of Danielle Norman's style, like this kind of style where she takes her photography and collages. I think it's so neat. I have her Walking Meditation Tarot, which I love so much, which is kind of like an all-season deck, one of those where each suit is a different season, it seems, if I'm remembering correctly. And so I love that now there's a whole deck for one season. The first one was actually the Winter Season Tarot, which is absolutely on my list when we start getting closer to the winter time, but I love this. It has the most cozy fall feeling. I'm not usually one for decks with very modern 21st century people in them, or even like when there's people in my decks, I prefer for it to be illustrated, really, is the thing, but I don't know, her decks are the total exception. I love them. Look at that Four of Wands. And I love the extra cards in here. We have a Halloween card. I think it's so good. I truly could not put this down for that whole week and a half. And already I'm like, ooh, I have my Halloween decks out, but I keep looking at this. I just think it's so good. It's so well done. So that is the Autumn Season Tarot. If you're looking for the pinnacle of fall tarot, that's it. Okay. Next up was a pre-order, and that is the Coastal Curiosities Naturalist Edition. I was and am so excited for this. I actually ended up also, this one actually made it into my favorites as well because I paired it with the Autumn Season Tarot. Fantastic pair. So here are the backs, very reminiscent of the first edition of the Coastal Curiosities Oracle with the blue. But then we have this beautiful beige edging. And so the difference is, one, a difference in cardstock. The other two were a linen, where this is a matte finish, question mark, of some sort. Really nice. If you have either of Lennox's tarots, it's that cardstock, I do believe. It feels the same to me. So the difference, though, besides that, is that all of the background colors have been changed to this like neutral beige. Different tones of it, but that same kind of idea, shade, where in the original there's all different color, like pastel kind of colors in the background. And I wasn't sure how much it was going to change the vibe of the deck, but it really does. And I think it makes it... The thing is, I think with Coastal Curiosities, it pairs a lot with some of my springtime decks. I'll even give it like some of my winter ones, but for that warm and cozy deck feel, I found it just like didn't quite pair with that because of the pastels. This one so far really does. Getting that like warm neutral background. I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan of all of the editions. I have them all and I like them a lot. But I think this one's really fun, and I did also get the specimen like extra packs. Like this one is one of the new cards. All the new cards are really awesome. I love them. Like that one, that one. Oh, they're so good. I love it, and I love this cardstock. It's such a good shuffle. So yes, very excited about that. This one I am sure will also be coming back out in November because I can see it pairing so well with the decks I want to bring out. So, Coastal Curiosities Naturalist Edition. Now, I've got a little add-in, which technically wasn't a pre-order, but it came in the same box because it was a surprise release from Lennox that I ordered immediately. And that is the Grandmother's... question mark. Great-Grandmother's Faded Frontier Oracle. So this is a little mini oracle that, like I said, surprise release, which is so fun. And so I, like I said, ordered it immediately, and it just happened to be when my pre-order of that Coastal Curiosities was shipping. So they came in the same box. So I'm counting them in the same category just because. But it is a collage deck that I think is so interesting because Coastal Curiosities is also a collage deck, but the two decks use different time periods, so it seems to me, where this one feels very like 60s, 70s to me, where Coastal Curiosities has a very Victorian feel. And this one is so, it's fun, it's a little silly at points, but like so good. Step up, and it's just a little cat in the hunting position, and now, like, oh, so good. And the deck does come with these like interpretation cards, which is neat. I haven't gotten to use this too much. Again, I think this is going to be a November deck for me, because November, for whatever reason, well, no, I think there is lots of reason for it actually, but the vibe for me is always like vintage ancestral feeling decks, and that is definitely the vibe of this one to me. And I'm really excited to get into this one. I think it's really fun. So that is the Great Grandmother's Faded Frontier. All right, and then I got one more Kickstarter in. This one really was like, just made it in. Last day of the month. But it is The Haunts Oracle by Stacey Williams Ng. This is, as you can see, the third in the Southern Gothic trilogy, so the same creator as the Southern Gothic Oracle and the Southern Botanic Oracle, which I love so much. And so what this deck is the Southern Gothic Oracle had a optional expansion pack you could buy called The Haunts, which were all like spooky cards, which I did buy that, and I did buy the Botanic had the Poison pack. I bought both of them. And while I loved the cards, because they were a different printing, to me it seemed like they were, when you have different printings, there's going to be kind of some differences. Things aren't going to print exactly the same. You know what I mean? So if there was like a difference in color tone, something like that, totally reasonable. But it almost seemed like maybe there was like a switch in printers, or like, I don't know. And I have no fact for this. But regardless, the cards were a different size, and to me felt like almost a slightly different cardstock, where they just didn't shuffle into the deck well at all. So I ended up just sort of like combining those two and making like a mini deck out of the two, but I can't say I really use it. It was kind of a bummer because I love the cards. So when I saw that she was making a separate oracle all for the haunts, like extending that idea to make it its own oracle, completely on board. I backed it right away. So excited. So this is to kind of coincide, I guess, with the Southern Gothic, and it has the original Haunts cards plus some. So I'm really hoping she does it for the Poisons too. That would be so exciting. So these are the backs, but regardless, very excited to have this now, and perfect timing. She is such a talented painter, and I love this setup of these oracles. And now these new versions are a bit different. They don't have the full border, so there are new editions of the Southern Gothic and Southern Botanic. I didn't get those because I like the version I have, but very excited about this one. And I really like the new cards. It's got that spooky feel that I was so excited about the first time around. And I think it's genius that it was made into its own deck. I actually have this in my lineup for the readings Andy and I do together for the Lionhearts Challenge. The October theme is Seasons of the Witch, so this came in right on time, and I knew I had to get it in there. I just think it's so good. And it also feels like, I don't know, I might carry it over into my personal readings in November, because I think it would work. I really think it does. So, I don't know, we'll see. But I'm really liking the deck so far. Oh, it's so good. Look at that. So fun. Very cool, very excited. Look at I love how she draws ghosts. Like, they do look so spectral. So, that is the Haunts Oracle. I was so excited to see that coming in right on time for spooky season. Okay. Last but not least, I have two decks that I just plain old purchased this month. Both of them mass market. One new, one old. Not super old, but older. So we'll start with the new because it's the Comfy Cozy Witch Oracle, and I also did do a walkthrough of this deck. This was a very highly anticipated one for me because I love, look at those backs, so pretty. I really enjoy, I can't say I've listened to it recently, but years ago I really enjoyed Jenny Blonde's podcast, The Comfy Cozy Witch. And then the artist that was used for this deck, which I need to remind myself of her name, Jane Cargill, but she is Lamb Little on Instagram. I have followed her for years. I am obsessed with her work. And so when I saw there was going to be a deck with it, like this, the combination of the two, I was like, yes, need that. And I really like this deck. I think the more the apprehension I had was the pink flowers in the corners on every card. I wasn't sure how I felt about that. The more I sit with it, the more I lean toward the side of like, it doesn't bother me to, might actually like it, you know what I mean? But regardless, everything else about the deck I really like. I just love this style of deck where you get the object and then the keyword. Love it. I really do, and I think this is going to be a really fun one to use. Like, I'm thinking like in the winter when you want that coziness. I think this is gonna be a really good one to kind of go from like those deep winter months as we start to defrost towards spring. I think this is gonna really fit in well there. So I'm excited for that. But yeah, I really like it. I think it's a good solid oracle deck. The Comfy Cozy Witch Oracle. Last one to show today, the Horror Tarot. This one came out a few years ago, and I look at it every single year, or I have looked at it every single year, and just been like, oh, I don't really need any more like Halloweenish decks, but especially because I've got the Dark Forest Tarot, which is by the same creator, Abigail Larson. Or at least the art is for that one, I should say. But that one, I always try to slot it into October, Halloween season, but it doesn't actually quite fit there for me. I find that the, like, afterwards, like November, is really when I am drawn to that deck. And so thinking on that this year, I was like, you know what, I really just want to give this one a try. I've thought about it every single year without fail since it came out, so let's try it. And I'm really glad I did, because this one feels like the Halloween Abigail Larson deck. I love her artwork so much. And there's a creepiness to it that it's like, I do want that in this season, but something about the Dark Forest, it just wasn't quite October to me. It feels more November for whatever reason, but I've already used this a few times and I really like it. I think it's so fun. I love the red in it. It really fit in perfectly with for October, I've got two different capsule collections. One is like a fun Halloween, like the orange and black and like the fun decks, like the Halloween Tarot, Halloween Oracle, things like that. And then the second one I did is very like vampire gothic inspired, and so this one really fit into that really nicely. But I like the kind of animatedness to the artwork, because even though I wanted to have that more like gothic feeling capsule as well, when it comes down to it in October, I'm really craving the cartooniness, I guess, of like the season. I don't know if that makes any sense, but it's like even in this capsule I still wanted that cartoon feel just a little bit. So really excited about this one. I think it's really well done. And I've been loving it. So, dropping things. So that, my friends, is it. Those are all the decks that came into my collection in September. So I would love to know if you got anything new and exciting, or if you rediscovered an old deck that you reconnected with. I don't know. Any of it. I like to hear. But other than that, I hope you're having a great day so far, and I'll see you again very soon.